We are rapidly reaching the point of no return for the planet. We face a triple environmental emergency: biodiversity loss, climate disruption, and escalating pollution. For too long, humanity has cut down the Earth's forests, polluted its rivers and oceans, and ploughed its grasslands into oblivion. We are ravaging the very ecosystems that underpin our societies, and in doing so, we risk depriving ourselves of the food, water, and resources we need to survive. The degradation of the natural world is already undermining the well-being of 3.2 billion people, or 40% of humanity. Luckily, the Earth is resilient, but she needs our help. We still have time to reverse the damage we have done. That is why, on this World Environment Day, we are launching the United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. This global movement will bring together governments, businesses, and civil society and private citizens in an unprecedented effort to heal the Earth. By restoring ecosystems, we can drive a transformation that will contribute to the achievement of all the Sustainable Development Goals. The task is monumental. We need to replant and protect our forests, we need to clean up our rivers and seas, and we need to green our cities. Accomplishing these things will not only safeguard the planet's resources, it will create millions of new jobs by 2030, generate returns of over $7 trillion every year, and help eliminate poverty and hunger. The United Nations Decade on Ecosystem Restoration is a global call to action. It will draw together political support, scientific research, and financial muscle to massively scale up restoration. And everyone can contribute. Science tells us these next 10 years are our final chance to avert a climate catastrophe, turn back the deadly tide of pollution, and end species loss. Today, let's start a new decade, one in which we finally make peace with nature and secure a better future for all.
Hello, and welcome to our online celebration for the United Nations World Environment Day. This day has been celebrated worldwide since 1974 to bring together governments, businesses, and citizens in an effort to address pressing environmental issues. This year, World Environment Day marks the official launch of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, a 10-year push to prevent, stop, and reverse the decline of the natural world. Going from exploiting nature to healing it, what better way to do it than to start from our conscience? Every little bit of our conscience-driven actions can consolidate into a great positive influence for the environment and all living things. For this year's celebration of World Environment Day, there are over 1,000 registered events, from global virtual gatherings to community cleanups, live social discussions to musical and film screenings. Thousands from around the world are organizing virtual and physical events, small and large. We're glad many friends have joined our virtual event today to put in our efforts towards the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. Dr. Hong has prepared a special message for this special celebration. Let's welcome Dr. Hong Daozi, President of the Federation of World Peace and Love.
Distinguished guests, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, good day. June 5th of each year is World Environment Day. This year's theme is ecosystem restoration, with a focus on rebuilding humanity's relationship with nature. This year marks the beginning of the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, 2021 to 2030. The Sustainable Development Goals have a deadline of 2030. The Decade on Ecosystem Restoration is widely seen as the last chance to avoid disastrous climate catastrophes. The ever-increasing human population and rapid economic development have accelerated our exploitation of natural resources, pushing the Earth's ecosystems so far out of equilibrium that they are fighting back against us. Since last year, the world has been facing multiple crises: natural and man-made disasters, be it the COVID-19 pandemic or forest fires caused by extreme climate patterns has posed daunting challenges for us. The sustainable development of the ecological environment is not only a matter of repairing problems that have arisen as a result of environmental damage, but also of reducing natural resource consumption. Natural resource consumption and environmental pollution are two sides of the same coin, because rapid resource consumption and waste discharge into the environment add to the environmental burden. We must recognize the urgency to protect the ecosystems and come together to discuss how we can overcome the challenges of ongoing deterioration, conserve the environment, and ensure the continued existence of humanity at the same time. Inger Anderson, Executive Director of the United Nations Environment Program, said 2020 was a year of reckoning, facing multiple crises, including a global pandemic and the continued crisis of climate, nature, and pollution. In 2021, we must take deliberate steps to move from crisis to healing. The UN Environment Program encourages people to take concrete actions to support ecosystem restoration, such as using environmental-friendly products, changing consumption habits and lifestyles, and speaking up for ecosystem restoration. This is a call for global actions. We can all contribute to this worthy aim, no matter who we are and where we are. By bringing together everyone's kind hearts and good deeds, we will create a brighter future for the world. The heart is the starting point for action. When people's hearts are inspired, it's natural for collective actions to be strengthened. To restore our ecosystem, we must first inspire world citizens to protect and cleanse their hearts. They can begin by discovering, cultivating, and embodying conscience, then developing the love for human beings and the earth, and restore a primal, harmonious, and balanced relationship with nature. As mentioned in the Love of the World, a Declaration of Peace, by means of the declaration, we express the aspirations of all humanity and pray for the civilization of the new century to fulfill the responsibility of being a part of the Earth's ecosystem. The development of civilization in this century requires a complete ecosystem as the foundation. Love and peace are the most important cornerstones for the well-being of the world and the sustainability of the planet, and they are the foundation on which economic, social, cultural, spiritual, technological, and educational development can be consolidated. To protect and restore the ecosystems, we must take practical actions. The seeds of conscience are deeply ingrained in everyone's hearts, but they are often forgotten or obscured by life's worries and difficulties. We can only reconnect with the environment and find a way to live in peace and harmony with nature if we find our conscience and follow its guidance. If we reflect more on our lives, we can hear a voice calling from within for every thought, every matter, and every distinction between right and wrong, and between true and false. As our elders taught us that we should avoid doing evil, and instead do good deeds to amass virtues and blessings. The reaction of conscience becomes intuitive through pragmatic reflection and action, which is gathered over time and fostered through education. The more people embrace the energy of conscience, the more swiftly they can exert positive influence and turn the world around. Conscience is the wellspring of love. Listening to our hearts and caring for and changing the small things around us are the first steps towards ecosystem restoration. People have been compelled to take a break due to the pandemic. Nature, which has been ravaged, has been able to take a breath. As a result, people are forced to consider the balance between economic activity and natural resources. However, this is insufficient. Life in the post-pandemic era involves cherishing nature, reawakening awareness of the interdependence of humans and nature, and advocating constructive solutions to make the most of the time remaining before the 2030 deadline. Everyone needs to protect his or her own conscience and inspire the awakening of conscience in more people to practice love, tolerance, acceptance, selflessness, and care, as well as work together to safeguard the environment. Will the Earth and humanity's future be viable? The most crucial key is each world citizen's will and action, and we must embrace this moment and act now. When people act with conscience, they will work to improve the existing situation and reverse environmental degradation, fundamentally rebuild the relationship between humans and nature, connect humans and nature with love and conscience, and establish a balanced way to keep the earth healthy for themselves and future generations. Let us apply our conscience and work together to restore the environment, safeguard the earth, restore the green hills, and keep the water clean. Let us practice love and peace to secure a sustainable ecosystem and a happy and prosperous future for all. May the environment be sustainable. May the world be blessed with peace. May everyone enjoy health and happiness.
Thank you, Dr. Hong. Indeed, conscience is the wellspring of love, and the heart is the starting point for action. With love in our hearts, we can take action to make our world a better place. Today, the Federation of World Peace and Love would like to share with you a special ceremony of ringing the bell of world peace and love. With best wishes for the world in our hearts, let us follow the clear sounds of the bell and wish for harmony in the world and for everyone to be healthy and happy.
The Bell of Peace is an auspicious and peaceful bell which resonates with heaven and earth. It's a promise about world love and peace. The article, "The Love of the World, a Declaration of Peace," is our common wish. Ringing the bell with the wish makes all living beings prosper, and love and peace last forever. Ringing the bell that saves the world could raise people's awareness. Only by congregating the wishes for love and peace will all living beings be able to thrive, and love and peace be sustained forever.
Please unveil the bell.
With a clear ringing sound, the bell collects sincere wishes and gathers respectful energies as one. With aspirations for harmony surging, all living creatures are comforted and enjoy peace and security. Living in harmony with heaven and earth, people must return to truthfulness and follow the law of nature. Consolidating good energies, conscience inspires kind deeds to transform our common destiny.
Ring the bell. Please raise up the mallet all the way up to the sky to show your wish to the whole world.
A bell ringer once said, "A golden bell, we plant a seed of love, and with many seeds of love, we can grow a forest of love and create peace together." Currently, with the pandemic, we need good thoughts and kind thoughts more than ever before. Please join us for this next prayer for the world from Dr. Hong. Let us consolidate our positive energies to overcome the pandemic together. We would now like to invite everyone to join us for a minute of silence to send our prayers and thoughts to all those suffering from the pandemic.